What's going on, people? I hope everybody is cool, man. So real quick, I wanted to hop on here and give my take on this black firefighter who was recently sentenced to 6 years in prison, I believe, for defending himself against a racist attack. Now, Dr. Rashad Richey reported on this. I would like you all to check out his clip and what he had to say about it, and then I'm going to come back with my commentary. This is live, straight from the phone, no cuts, no edits, so excuse any miswordings, misquotes, etc. But this is live, all right? So without further ado, check out the clip.
Firefighter. Black firefighter convicted for defending himself against an attacker. Put it up full mass. A black Oregon firefighter who was convicted by an all-white jury for defending himself against an alleged racist attacker and sentenced to 6 years. His alleged racist attacker still roams free. We have the details. Despite the assailant throwing the first punch, allegedly calling him the N-word, and having illicit drugs in his system, Brian Hakyim Simpson remains locked up in a River Correctional Facility, found guilty of second-degree assault by an all-white jury. He was the victim. I'm going to give you the additional details. His friends, supporters, and fellow firefighters and family have recently launched a petition and a letter-writing campaign to the Oregon governor, demanding a second look at the case. If they wait for an appeal, it could take years. Now, this case is actually not as complicated as you would imagine. But remember, we have governors who have pardoned cops who were found guilty of killing citizens wrongfully while on duty. Those governors have pardoned these cops, okay? This guy, firefighter defending himself, clearly, he's not the aggressor. A punch was thrown at him first. You now have active defense. You have the right of active defense of self and defense of others.
Okay, now you all just saw that, right? And this type of injustice is nothing new. It's nothing new, all right? It's a reminder of how unfair the justice system can be and is in the United States of America, especially when it comes to black people in America. Listen, man, I'm going to say this, all right? It should be illegal in the United States of America. It should be illegal for a black person to be tried by an all-white jury. Seriously, that's criminal or civil. It should be illegal. All right. Why do I say that? Here's why. Because some of y'all like to act like that everything is cool and everything is copacetic and there's no history of discrimination and racism and everybody is the same and everybody gets treated properly and there are no biases. You all like to act like that, right? So here's why I say that it should be illegal for a black person to be tried by an all-white jury in America, okay? In this country, all-white juries have always been used to unjustly punish black people, okay? When a jury doesn't have any black members or members of color, it's missing the life experiences and I would say fairness that comes with having a diverse group, okay? When it comes to juries in America, juries should look like the United States of America. There should never be an all-white jury, an all-black jury, an all-Asian jury, an all-Hispanic jury. There should never be that. It should be a black person, two black people, a Hispanic man, white people, Asian people. There should be all kinds of ethnicities on the jury panel. There should not be one race of people when it comes to a jury judging somebody, especially if the person is of a different skin tone. All right? Seriously. When a jury doesn't have any black members, it's missing the life experience and fairness that comes from having a diverse group. That's why it should be against the law for any black defendant to be judged only by white people. This is a fact. Now, why do I say that? Or any Anybody that is not white, it should be illegal for anybody that is not white to be tried by an all-white jury. When it comes to criminal defenses, if that person that's being tried is on the defending side, it should be illegal. All right? Now, why do I say that? Well, let's take a peek at history. Since the days of slavery, Jim Crow, all white juries have been used to keep black people down and treat them unjust. If you were black and you went to court during slavery, I'm just starting from slavery, but we're gonna amp it on up to modern times. If you were black and you went to court, then you had no chance of getting a fair trial, man. You had no chance of getting a fair trial. Okay? And if somebody white did something to a black person and the white person went to trial, most of the time they were judged by an all-white jury and the black person never saw justice. Case in point, Emmett Till, right? His mother, right? When they were arrested for doing it, they were tried by what? An all-white jury, right? And the Till family never saw justice, rather. Never saw it. Okay? If you take a look at the Scottsboro boys in the 1930s, when you had 9 black teenagers who were accused of raping, I believe, 2 white women in Alabama, even though there was no real evidence, all white juries found them what? Guilty. And they spent years in prison or on death row. All right. But later they were found to be innocent, but it took decades. Another case is George Stinney Jr. He was 14 years old, a black kid, sentenced to death in South Carolina in 1944 by what? An all-white jury. He was executed 3 months after his arrest. In 2014, a judge finally cleared his name, saying he never got a fair trial. Of course, he didn't get a fair trial. He was a black man, a young black man in 1944 being tried by an all-white jury. Of course, he did not get a fair trial. There's also the case of Walter McMillian, all right, who was falsely convicted of murder in Alabama in the 1980s by what? An all-white jury. He spent 6 years on death row until he was finally proven innocent in 1993. His story is told in the book and the movie Just Mercy. Okay? I believe Michael B. Jordan was in that joint. All right? Listen, man. All white juries, if you just look at the exoneration rate when it comes to black people being falsely convicted of crimes and look at the juries of who they were tried by, all right? All white juries have always been more likely to convict black defendants, all right? And the damage they do lasts for years, even decades, according to the Equal Justice Initiative. All right? There are over 2,000 innocent people in prison right now who were convicted by juries that did not look like them. All right? And I'm talking about the entire jury. The entire jury was one color. And the person that was trying to fight for their freedom was the opposite color. All right? Scholarly sources back this up, man. In a study by the National Registry of Exonerations, I believe it's Gross, Posley, and Steffens in 2017, black people are 7 times more likely to be wrongly convicted of murder than white people, right? The Innocence Project also found that black people are the most often exonerated for crimes they did not do. It's clear racism, and it's still a big part of the criminal injustice system today. The studies show that courts still treat black people unfairly, man. And that's why it should be illegal for a black person to face an all-white jury in the United States of America. Period. That should be a law in the United States of America. And it should also be a law that juries should look like the United States of America. There should be every jury, there should be every ethnicity on that panel in the jury. Every ethnicity. Okay? It should be diverse. All right? And that's the fact, man. That's the fact. This dude, this black firefighter, is doing 6 years in prison for defending himself against a racist attack, and he was tried by an all-white jury. That should be illegal in 2025, man. Illegal. Should have been illegal years ago. Seriously. It should be a law that black defendants cannot be tried by all white juries in any kind of case. The jury has to be diverse. In defendants of color, period. It should be a law. All right. And that's what I got to say about it, man. So, to everyone out there, man, just stay alert, keep listening, and keep your eyes open, all right? And keep speaking about the unfair justice system. Demand the courts do better, man. Do better by black people and keep making noise and keep fighting and trying to get laws changed and going forth, man. All right? You can't bow down to this crooked injustice system of tyranny, man. All right? Because a lot of these prosecutors and judges and cops, they are very corrupt, man. They are very corrupt. Okay? Very corrupt. This country has millions of people in jail unjustly. Millions of people in prison serving life sentences for things they did not do, who have been executed for things they did not do. Seriously, that's unfair. And if you have a heart of righteousness, that should bother you. Even if it hasn't impacted your family, that should bother you. Period. To God be the glory, man. Y'all be blessed. Jesus Christ is Lord. I'm gone. Peace.